Thomas Tuchel, okay, cheer yourselves up, will not be the new Manchester United manager, though Jules, it's unclear whether it's a case of him pulling out after meeting Jim Ratcliffe in person in Monaco or United pulling out after spending time with Thomas Tuchel.
Yeah, we don't know yet. Well, I mean, I'm sure we will find out.
We've heard both versions.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe a little bit of both? More
Maybe
than one
it's a
thing
bit
can
of
be true?
both. We kind of knew that Ratcliffe liked the profile and liked him and that he was a contender on the short list. We still don't know, by the way. I mean, the decision on Ten Hag's future has been postponed. We thought it could have been last week. It was not. So
Rob Dawson tells us it's this week.
It's this week. So whether they keep him or not, it looks like you don't meet other managers, potential managers, if you want to keep your current one, right? You just don't. That's not what you do. So clearly, they want to get rid of Ten Hag and get somebody else in. If they don't find the right person to replace him with, they might keep him for a little bit longer, maybe. But imagine if you're Ten Hag, and we have no sympathy, I really don't care how Ten Hag feels. But this is you can't feel good about yourself when this is happening.
Under the old paradigm, I would agree with you. Under the new one, they're running a business. He has paid a ton of money in part for this. As long as you're honest with him, as long as you go to some, Erik, we think you had a crappy season. We've got very little faith that you're actually going to turn this around long term.
Yeah.
We're going to talk to other managers. We may find somebody we like more than you. We may not. You're under contract. We'll keep you to your contract. We expect you to behave like a pro.
Yeah.
And then Erik Ten Hag says, yes, thank you for being honest with me and straight up and not going behind my back. No, that's what I would do.
Yeah, I think that's
and I would expect Ten Hag to maybe respect that. Yeah. I don't know.
And Gab, when Tuchel was pitching to Ratcliffe, he said he had a plan to get the best out of Mason Mount, who did well for him at Chelsea before and had a terrible first season at United. And Jadon Sancho as well, who the club are reportedly looking to ship for £40 million. What does that tell you?
Well, it tells me that Tuchel, first and foremost, says, hey, before we start going in about how much money do I have to spend, will you back me? I'm going to buy him, and him. I'm going to say, no, look, I'm going to fix what's there. And look, Mount had a bad season, but Mount was also injured for much of the season. Let's not forget. So going there and saying, hey, Mason Mount can be a real contributor. He was a real contributor at Chelsea 2-3 years ago. Same thing with Sancho. You saw Sancho do reasonably well for Borussia Dortmund. Hey, I can get him back. So this is exactly what Tuchel should be saying to him.
Yeah, he said I did the same with Rudiger when I was at Chelsea.
Yeah, Bob. So there you go. Take credit for Rudiger winning the Champions League too. Why don't you? No, just kidding. We love Tommy. More Ratcliffe. Is he finally going to sell Nice so they stop busting his stones over dual ownership?
It's a good question, Gab, because there was a few articles in the UK saying that Nice is up for sale, Ineos want out, etc. The club itself and Nice is saying, no, it's not for sale, certainly not right now. Yes, Ineos are more focused on United, it's normal, it's a bigger club, they've just got into it. It's Ratcliffe, a club they were supporting as a kid, so all of that. And yet the budget at Nice will go down for next season. But they're still committed. That's not for sale. We're still working on the next season and building for the future, blah, blah, blah. The thing that you would usually say, I guess. Do we believe them? We don't have to. If there's a good offer on the table, I'm pretty sure that Ineos would sell Nice. They bought it for 100 million euros 5 years ago now, this summer. But for now, there just might not be anybody interested. It's just as simple as that.
Great stadium, great city, great food, great weather, nice training ground apparently, which I've never been to.
Yeah, why not?